You going on? Get started in a minute. We'll let a couple brothers and sisters get in here. Y'all about your mouth, Shabrakadash, your boss, sir. The water for tapping in as usual. Appreciate you, my lord. We get into it. Like you. Shalom Israel, Yahba Shem Yahweh Shabaraka Thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Allah Thun by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Karan Yala, the Isupk, and this is another Monday night history class. So tonight, Most High in Christ, sir, the what I appreciate the kind words. So tonight, we gonna get into these heathen gods. You understand what it means to worship a heathen god and what exactly did the heathens worship? You understand? Um, a lot of times, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we read the scriptures, of course, outside of the ISUBK all of the time. We read the scriptures, and we don't necessarily understand what the Bible is actually talking about because uh, Christianity has made the Bible into a fairy tale book. So you don't look at it as a history book, which that's exactly what it is. You understand? The Bible has the history of all nations. It has the history of all people. You understand? And it has the history of the activities of the different nations. You understand? But um, outside of the ISUBK, you won't be able to figure out what's actually really going on in the Bible because the Bible is not looked at as a history book outside of the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge. You understand? So, matter of fact, let's get right into it. Let me get Exodus the 20th chapter. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You understand? The Lord brought the children of Israel out of Egypt. You understand? Not some idol. You understand? Not the oppressor. You understand? At that time, Moses didn't even bring the children of Israel out of Egypt. You understand? The Lord brought us out of the captivity of Egypt. You understand? Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And we're not supposed to worship anything but Lord, our power, which saved us out of bondage. You understand? During the time of the children of Israel being in slavery and servitude to the filthy, stinking Egyptians. All right. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. You understand? The Lord said he's a jealous God. You know why the Lord is a jealous God? Because the Lord wants his glory. The Lord don't want you to give the glory to somebody else for saving you out of hell. You understand? The Lord, he demands his glory, and rightfully so, he should get it. You understand? Because without the most high, our power, we would be in Egypt to this day. You understand? And Salakia. As a matter of fact, we back in Egypt to this day, for not following our God. You understand? For not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, for going off and following after these heathenistic customs and they gods. You understand? But if it wasn't for the Lord today, you understand, you wouldn't have this little sanctuary, which is spoken about in the scriptures, you understand, which is absolutely talking about the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge under commanding General Yohanan. You understand? So let's get into this history. Let's go to Joshua chapter 24, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. Let's get into the history of just a brief history of where Abraham comes from, which is our forefather. You understand? The father of Isaac, you understand? The father of Jacob, the father of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. All right. It's the book of Joshua, chapter 24, and verse 1. And Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem and called for the elders of Israel and for their heads and for their judges and for their officers. And they presented themselves before God. And Joshua said unto the people, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nachor, and they served other gods. You understand? Now, this is speaking about Abraham's family. You understand? Before Abraham came to the land of Canaan, which is known as the land of Israel today, Abraham came from a place called Mesopotamia. You understand? And what they were doing in Mesopotamia, they was worshiping strange gods. They were sorcerers, magicians. You understand? People with familiar spirits, and we're gonna get into what all of that actually means. You understand? But the Lord didn't want Abraham to indulge in none of those heathenistic customs, because all of that comes from ancient Babylon. You understand? Salakia, verse 3. And I took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood and led him throughout all the land of Canaan and multiplied his seed and gave him Isaac. You understand? And the Lord gave the Lord extracted Abraham from Mesopotamia, or the land of the Chaldeans. You understand? Because the Lord chose him to be the person that worships him, and he chose him to make his seed great. So in turn, the Lord had to get Abraham out of his homeland, or the land of his nativity, you understand, to get him to another land where he don't know nothing about, you understand, or he has no influence from his family members to worship and indulge in the sacrifices and the worshiping of different gods and idols, and so forth and so on. You understand? Now, Salakia, let's get into it. We're gonna get into this Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, right? And there's a whole lot of information in this Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary about the history that you actually read into the scriptures. Now, just reading the scriptures is one thing, but actually doing the research on what's actually found in these scriptures, that broadens the understanding of the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Apocrypha. You understand? So now, like I said, Abraham comes from the land of the Chaldeans, all right, which is located in ancient Mesopotamia, and I believe today that would be Iraq or somewhere around that region. You know what I'm saying? Don't quote me on that, but I'm about 85% sure. All right. Okay, let's look up Chaldea or Chaldea. All right. Salakia, bear with me, Israel. Most High in Christ, right there. All right. Chaldea, the country of which Babylon was the capital, and which conquered Judah and carried its inhabitants into captivity. The name occurs in KJV only, in Jeremiah, and then it lists a few scriptures. You understand? But Chaldea, right? It says of which Babylon was the capital. You understand? Now, you understand the Babylonians, these were Cushites, your Ethiopians, your Somalians, you understand, Nipsey Hussles, your Tiffany Haddishes, your Haley Selassie's. These are those people. You understand? All right. Not saying that Abraham were those people, but Abraham's father Terah, which he was a Shemite, they lived amongst these people. You understand? And naturally, when you live amongst heathens, you're gonna take on their gods and learn their customs. All right. Salaki, I'm gonna jump down to Chaldean. All right. An adjective referring to things pertaining to Chaldea, or a noun referring to a man of Chaldea, right? Then the very next word is Chaldean astrologers. Now let's get into it, all right? And the word, the phrase that it tells you to go look up next is wise men, all right? You got any questions? You got any questions, go ahead and let me know. If anybody got any questions out there, Baba Kasha, I pray that you are on YouTube watching this. You understand? That's the only way I can see your questions or your comments. But if you have any questions on topic, Baba Kasha, which means please in Hebrew, go to Sacramento Israelites or Oakland Israelites and actually watch the class from YouTube and type in your questions and I'll be able to get to it. All right. So we going to wise men, all right? Okay, here we go. Salakia, let me make some room. All right, wise men. The name is often applied to men of understanding and skill in ordinary affairs. Now, of course, this being applied to the children of Israel, a wise man is a brother that keeps the law, statutes, and commandments and have understanding in the law and why we should keep the law and how it benefits us to keep the law. You understand? Let me up now. Solomon, superlatively, there are wise ladies, of course, or court women. In a more specialized sense in Israel, the builders of the tabernacle, the leaders of the tribes. You understand? So the heads of the tribes, or it's the same as today. You understand? The heads of our tribes today would be the generals, Commander General Yohanan, General Muhammad, you understand? General Mayaka Allah, you understand? General Hazayan, General Anya Shawamor, General Katham Gabar, and General Kubal Amak. These are the heads of the tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay? And then you have your captains, you understand? Your officers, your captains of 13,000s, your captains of 10,000s, your officers of 5,000, so forth and so on. Okay? But these men that are heads of the tribes, these are the wise men. You understand? And of course, these are men of understanding. These are men that keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? They know how to settle disputes, and they know how to keep the nation of Israel in order and in check. All right. Wise, understanding, experienced older men came to be recognized as a distinct class, widely esteemed by discerning, by the discerning. Excuse me. Now listen to this very good. Yabashim al Shabarakatah. Salakia. Gabarda, sir. The water for tapping in. I definitely appreciate you. All right. Now listen to this. Listen to this good. All right. In heathen nations, the wise men grouped with and identified as magicians, sorcerers, enchanters, astrologers, Chaldeans appear in Egypt. All right. Now let's get into a couple of scriptures, you understand, that correlate to these heathens having their own type of wise men, but they were sorcerers, magicians, so forth and so on. And we're gonna get into the meaning of those words: sorcerer, Egyptian, sorcerer, magician, enchanter, so forth and so on. You understand? Now, Let's go to Genesis chapter 41 and verse 8. The book of Genesis chapter 41 and verse 8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. And he sent and called for all the and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that can interpret it. You understand? So Pharaoh, him having a dream, of course, we understand that Joseph was able to interpret this dream later on because the Lord was actually with Joseph. But Pharaoh, he called for all the magicians. You understand? Matter of fact, Salakia. Let's get into the meaning of some of these words that we just heard. You understand? Let's go to the meaning of the word magician. All right. Okay. The root word for the word magician or magic, we're gonna go to the root word. It is magi. You understand? The magi were originally a religious caste among the Persians, right? So the root word magi, you understand, which is the root word for magician. This word comes from the kingdom of the Persians. You understand? Now, this is the word that comes from the kingdom of the Persians, but these practices go back to ancient Babylon. Understand? Now let's read more on it, right? Their devotion to astrology, divination, and their interpretation of dreams led to an extension in the meaning of the word. And by the 1st century, the terms magi and Chaldean were applied generally to fortune tellers and exponents of esoteric religious cults throughout the Mediterranean world. Magus, for example, the epithet of the charlatan, the epithet of the charlatan Simon of Acts 8:9. The term is translated to sorcerer. You understand? So now, a sorcerer, right, or a person that does magic is a sorcerer. That's what it translates to, right? Now, let's go to the word sorcery or sorcerer to get a clear understanding, right? Hit me. Here we go. Sorcerer or sorcery, all right? One who claimed to have supernatural power or knowledge. He often used magic potions and was considered to be in league with evil forces. And you know what the magic potions is, right? It's drugs. Magic, sorcery, or being a Sorcerer has everything to do with using drugs. You understand? I'm gonna read some more. All right. The practice of sorcery was widespread in ancient times and was regarded as an evil practice for Israel. Right. Practice of the occult arts was prevalent in New Testament days. Simon of Samaria used sorcery, but was converted under Philip. And Paul and Barnabas found a sorcerer at Paphos. You understand? And you can go to Acts the 8th chapter and Acts the 13th chapter and read more on that. You understand? So sorcery was the I'm gonna read that again. It says he often used magic potions and was considered to be in league with evil forces. You understand? Now, a person that uses sorcery or magic, you understand? This is a drug dealer, basically, in many terms, you understand? Or a person that indulged in drugs, you understand? Now, let's go to Salakia. Let's go to the word witch, right? Here we go. Witch. A woman in early England, also a man in league with evil spirits. Salakia. Uh, it says witchcraft, divination, right? Now, Greek, in the Greek is pharmakia. Pharmakia. That's the Greek word for being a sorcerer. You understand? Now, when you look at the word pharmakia, right? That word sounds like pharmacy or pharmaceutical is where you go get drugs from. Now, listen some more, right? It says Greek pharmakia, Galatians the 5th chapter and the 20th verse, means the use of drugs, charms, or magic words. You understand? So a witch, a sorcerer, right, divinators or fortune tellers, witchers, or warlocks, spellcasters, right? These is all drug dealers. You understand? That's exactly what sorcery is. When the Bible says, and that's a perfect precept, sir. Exodus 22 and 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. I'm paraphrasing, you understand? Because using drugs was illegal to the Israelites. You understand? It was illegal for us to indulge in that type of lifestyle because that was what heathens did. You understand? Mind altering substance and being a drug dealer or a goddamn drug addict. That's the culture of the heathens. You understand? We're going to get into that some more, right? So being a sorcerer, a witch, a warlock, you understand? A person with familiar spirits, you understand? This is a person that indulged in using drugs, you understand? And that is the basis of most of these heathen gods, you understand? Being high out of your goddamn mind and doing whatever the hell you feel, you understand? Salakia. Let's get some more on the scriptures. Let's go to Exodus 7 and 10. The book of Exodus, chapter 7 and verse 10. And Moses and Aaron went unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. You understand? Now, this is Moses and Aaron, you understand, them going to Pharaoh and asking Pharaoh to let the children of Israel go to go serve our God, you understand? And of course, The Lord, being wise, you understand, he's showing Pharaoh that, look, I'm really with these brothers. I'm with these brothers so much. They're not sorcerers. They don't indulge in black magic and none of that weird stuff that y'all do. But he's going to throw his staff down and it's going to turn into a snake because I'm going to make it turn into a snake. Now watch this. Verse 11. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. You understand? Now, the Egyptians indulged in doing drugs. These is wise men, sorcerers, magicians. You understand? Let's get some more. Let's go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter. The book of Daniel, chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 2. Now, Daniel, the 2nd chapter, takes place during the Babylonians being on top, the Cushites being on top. You understand? Nebuchadnezzar being the one that kicked off their empire. You understand? Salakia. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. And in the 2nd year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. You understand? So Nebuchadnezzar, he was dreaming dreams, and his spirit was troubled because he didn't understand what these dreams meant. And he was dreaming some wild stuff. You understand? Verse 2. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers. Not only did he call basically the drug lords of the time, but he called the astrologers, people who worship the stars and the sun and the moon and all of this type of stuff. You understand? If you go to Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, you understand in the first verse, I believe like one to like 4 or 5, that talks about the learning not the way of the heathen. You understand? Because they are dismayed at the signs of heaven. Well, they did this back in ancient Babylon as well. You understand? Salakia. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. You understand? Now, the Babylonians did this as well as the Chaldeans. These is all the other nations that we lived round about that the Lord told us to not indulge with. Salakia. Matter of fact, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee very suddenly. You understand? The reason why the Lord didn't want us to marry these other nations, because these other nations worship strange gods. They did all type of strange, wicked shit. Excuse my French, you understand? And they was dolphins. You understand? Like, if you marry somebody and their custom is to smoke weed and get high, you understand? And you choose to indulge in the customs of these people that you marry unto, you're gonna be high out your mind just like a goddamn drug addict, you understand? And you're not gonna be able to have the mind frame to actually live righteously. You understand? So the Lord said, look, don't marry these other nations because they worship other gods and they're going to get you to worship their gods soon as you start giving your sons and your daughters to these other nations. Basically, the Lord is saying, you marry a heathen, you're going to become a dolphin. You understand? You marry a heathen, you're going to be destroyed. You understand? Because you're going to use all of these mind-altering substances and you're going to be out of your goddamn mind. You understand? Salakia. Let's get some more. I'm going to jump down to verse 10 in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. All right. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore, there is no king, lord, nor ruler that ask such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can show it before the king except the gods whose dwelling is not with flesh. You understand? These other nations, bro, they indulge in getting high and worshiping many strange gods that's not even there, that's not alive. You understand? They've always done this. All right. And this is what worshiping these other gods consisted of. It consisted of you getting high. It consisted of you doing all type of lewd, illicit activities and so forth and so on. And I'm gonna give you the some of the gods that's found in these scriptures, and we're gonna go into the history of what it means to actually serve these certain gods that these heathens did. You understand? By name, Salakia. All right, Salakia. Daniel. Let's go to Daniel, the 5th chapter. The book of Daniel, chapter 5 and verse 5. In the same hour came 4 fingers of a man's hand and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. You understand? So there was a message, you understand, that was being written on the king's wall. And the king is seeing this being written. So the king is spooked. He like, what the hell is this? You understand? Verse 6. Then the king's countenance was changed and his thoughts troubled, so that the joints of his loins were loosened and his knees smote one against another. The king was spooked. He like, what is this crazy BS am I witnessing right now? You understand? Verse 7. The king cried aloud to bring the astrologers, you understand, these same people that worship the stars and the moon and the sun and all of this, the Chaldeans and the soothsayers, basically drug dealers, you understand, sorcerers, all right? And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, some more drug dealers, all right? Whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck and shall be the third ruler of the kingdom. All right. Salakia. Jump down to verse. What was that? Gonna jump down to verse 15. And now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought up in before me, that they should read this writing and make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But they could not show the interpretation of the thing. Of course, they couldn't show the interpretation of the thing, because these niggas is all dolphins. They drug addicts, you understand? Believing in some spooky stuff because they high all the goddamn time. And of course, the Lord is not with you because you're not of the children of Israel. So you can't interpret what the Lord don't want you to interpret. And all of them damn drugs that you're doing is not going to help you either. All right. Salakia. Let's go to the book of Esther. And you see these same it's a reoccurring thing in the scriptures. You understand? Like the scriptures say there's nothing new under the sun. Just like you got drug addicts today and drug lords today, the same thing was happening in the Bible back in those times. See, a lot of people think that indulging in drugs and lewd activities was not around in ancient times. They think that this is some type of Western culture to get high and smoke weed and all this. No, that's not Western culture. You understand? The Africans been doing this. You understand? The hemp plant comes from East India. You understand? Right? They've been doing all type of different drugs. You understand? They've been doing cocaine, ecstasy pills. Like Commander General Yohana brought out a minute ago, back in ancient Egypt, the children of Israel, we used to soak lotus flowers in beer, in homemade beer. You understand? And what that would do was it would make the lotus flower like some type of hallucinogen. It's the equivalent of syrup today. You understand? Like niggas had syrup in ancient Egypt. You understand? And sold it to each other in the projects, just like you see today. Like just like you would see a brother selling crack on the block back in the days. Well, we did that in ancient Egypt and lived in projects. You understand? It was the same exact thing. All right. Salakia. This is the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 13. Salakia, is that what I wanted? Yeah, Esther chapter 1 and verse 13. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. You understand? These wise men, these was Persians. You understand? Of course, Esther lived, and her husband was one of the kings of Persia. You understand? And these Persians, they indulged in sorcery. They indulged in astrology. You understand? They indulged in being drug addicts. Let's get some more. Oh, so again. Esther chapter 6 and verse 13. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends, everything that befallen him, that had befallen him. Now, Haman is the evil bastard, you understand, that that plotted to get Mordecai killed because Mordecai wouldn't bow to him. This is what the Salakia, the memorial of the feast of it was the feast of lots. I believe this is where that comes from. You understand? But anyway, Haman was eventually hanged. You understand? Because the Lord was absolutely with the children of Israel during that time. You understand? And Salakia, I'm gonna read that again. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. And another thing about Haman, which a lot of people don't understand because you don't know the history of the Bible, Haman was a Agagite. You understand? Now, if you go to the history of who Agag was the king of the Amalekites. You understand? So Haman, this was basically a so-called Caucasian man. You understand? And when you look at the history of Alexander the Great, you understand, it makes sense why Alexander and his family hated the Persians so goddamn much, because one of their relatives or one of their forefathers before they were around, he was actually put to death, you understand, with the okay of the Persian king, because the Lord was with the children of Israel at the time of the book of Esther, you understand? But that's a whole different breakdown. Salakia. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh, his wife, unto him. Of course, there you go. There go them wise men again. And the wise men of Persia, these was goddamn sorcerers. You understand? Niggas that was on drugs. Excuse me. You understand? If Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but surely fall before him. Of course, they was telling him, like, look, man, the Lord is with Mordecai, bro. He's with he's one of the children of Israel, bro. You're not finna win against him. You understand? That's what they did tell him that was right. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter and the 10th verse. There shall be found, the Salakia, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. Now that passed through the fire. Let's get what the Lord means. You understand? Let's go to the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter and the 21st verse. What does that mean? Let your children pass through the fire. Leviticus 18. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Now, who in the hell is Molech? You know who Molech is? Bingo. Let's get him. Once again, Zondervan's Compact Pictorial Dictionary, or Salaki, the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Big shout out to my big brother Kasar Pakad. You understand? Put me on, got me right. Let's look for Molech. All right. Evil Molech. Let's find this SOB. All right. Here we go. Bingo. Molech. All right. A heathen god worshiped especially by the Ammonites. Now, if you understand the history of the Bible, the Ammonites, or your so-called the Japanese and the tribes of the Asian people that come from Japanese. You got the Ammonites, which are the Japanese, the Moabites, which are the Chinese, and then you have your other sub tribes of Asians that come from these two, which these are the sons of Lot, you understand, through incest. All right. All right. So a Molech, a heathen god worshipped especially by the Ammonites, with gruesome orgies in which little ones were sacrificed. So hold on. These so-called Japanese people, right? To worship their god, they had gruesome orgies and they sacrificed children. You understand? Let's read some more. At least in some places, an image of the god was heated, and the bodies of children who had just been slain were placed in its arms. Let's read some more. The worship of Molech was known to the children of Israel before they entered Canaan, for Moses very sternly forbade its worship. Once again, Leviticus, the 18th chapter and the 21st verse. You understand? They already knew what these other nations was doing. You understand? And Moses was like, look, we not to indulge in none of their culture. You understand? The scriptures say, I'm paraphrasing, but these law, statutes, and commandments is going to be our righteousness. You understand? Salaki, not our righteousness, but our I can't even paraphrase it right now, but it's going to be our wisdom. There you go. Our wisdom in to the other nations. They gonna look at us and be like, damn, them niggas don't eat pork. And ain't none of them dying from none of these diseases that normally die, that people normally die from eating this. Or they all smoke weed. Ain't none of them niggas gonna get lung cancer. You understand? We're gonna be looked at as a wise nation because our law, statutes, and commandments make sense to preserve life. You understand? When you look at these other nations, like how we read right now, Molech, whoo, this is evil as hell. You understand? And what is Molech today? How do our brothers and sisters worship these other gods today? You understand? You said I just read it was gruesome orgies. You understand? If you indulge in having threesomes, you understand, and lewd sexual activities, you are worshiping the god of Molech. You understand? If sisters, you understand, if you running around here getting pregnant, you understand, and keep going to the goddamn abortion clinic to kill your baby in hopes for a better life because you think the baby is going to somehow stop you from being great, you are worshiping Molech to this day. You understand? Reading on. In spite of this prohibition, King Solomon, to please his numerous heathen wives, set up Salakia, set up high places for Kamash and for Molech on Mount Olivet, though its principal place of worship in and after Manasseh's time was the valley of the son of Hinnom, the place of such ill repute that Gehenna, the valley of Hinnom, being a type for hell, the words Molech, Moloch, Molech, Milcom, you understand? And you can read about these in 1 Kings, the 11th chapter and the 5th verse, Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 5, Salakia, are all variants of Hebrew words meaning the reigning one. Latter-day Jews often went from the sacrifices to Molech into the house of the Lord to worship. And this impiety was particularly offensive to Yahweh as it added insult to injury. You understand? So that's what right. Damn right, sir. You understand? Smoking weed, stealing, whoredom, homosexuality. You understand? All of that. All of that is the worship of Molech. You understand? Salakia. Let's get some more. Let's go to Judges, the second chapter. Judges, the second chapter and the 13th verse. This Bible is a history book, man. This ain't no fairy tale book. You understand? If you want to know anything about the whole goddamn world, it's right here in the scriptures. You understand? All you have to do is get in class. All you got to do is put your pride to the side and actually tell yourself, yeah, I don't know nothing. The men in the Isupk, they know more way. They know way more than me. You understand? And we gonna get you right. Salakia. Judges, the second chapter and the 13th verse. And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. Now let's look up Baal and Ashtaroth, right? Let's look up Baal and Ashtaroth, all right? Baal, the very first word in the B section of this Bible dictionary, all right? The word Baal appears in the Old Testament with a variety of meanings, all right? So there's more than one meaning for the word Baal, all right? Originally, it was not a proper noun, but later it came to be used, Salakia, but later it came to be used, Salakia, but later it came to be so used, all right? Reading on. Sometimes it is used in the primary sense of master or owner. Now, yeah, and that's correct. You understand? Baal, right? If you have a blue letter Bible phone app on your phone, you understand? Sometimes owner or master, it translates to Baal in the Hebrew. You understand? But we're not talking about just a master or owner. We're talking about the God. All right. Let's get to it. Where was it? If the Hebrew husband was regarded. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Most often, however, the word refers to the Semitic deity or deities called Baal. Baal is not the same. It is not the name of one god, but the name of the presiding deity of any given locality. Because the worship of Baal was much the same everywhere in Canaan, in time, Baal came to represent the idea of one God, right? Uh, so like I'm gonna keep going. They got an image of Baal, you understand? In here, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see it, but I'm gonna try to get it for y'all. All right. Uh, the Baalim were the gods of the land, owning and controlling it, and the increase of crops, fruits, and cattle was under their control. The former was completely dependent upon the Baalim. Some Baals were greater than others. Some were in control of cities, as Melkart of Tyre. The name Baal occurs as early as the Hyksos period, 1700 BC. And if you know, the Hyksos were called shepherd kings. You understand? This was Joseph and his brothers. You understand? When they came from the land of Canaan and they came into Egypt. You understand? These are the Hyksos. These were the Israelites. All right, because the word Hyksos means shepherd kings. You understand? And of course, to be a shepherd was an abomination to the Egyptians. You understand? They looked down upon niggas that and I'm saying the word nigga on purpose. They looked down upon niggas, you understand, that tended to livestock, you understand, and raise cattle and so forth and so on. All right. Salakia. Reading on. The art Salakia, the Amarna letters at the Raz Shamra text, 1400 BC, make Baal a prominent Semitic deity. And in the latter, the name is not only applied to local gods, but is also used as the name of a distinctive god, Baal. Baal was worshipped on high places in Moab in the time of Baalim and Balak, Numbers 22 and 41. All right. In the period of the judges, there were altars to him in Palestine. All right. And in the time of Ahab and Jezebel, the daughter of the heathen king of the Zidonians, the worship of Yahweh was almost supplanted by that of Baal. You understand? So they tried to replace, you understand, of course, King Ahab, him being wicked as hell, you understand, he married this Zidonian princess, you understand, when she was a goddamn heathen, a so-called African or Canaanite, you understand. These are so-called South Africans of the day. This brother married her, you understand, and she was putting the prophets of the Lord to death, you understand, because she wanted dominion over the children of Israel, and she wanted us to serve a heathen's God, you understand, which of course, as we've been reading throughout this class, these heathen, these gods of these heathens are literally about lewd sex acts, you understand, sacrificing children and getting high, you understand. That's all it's about. All right. The struggle between Baalism and Judaism. Now, of course, we understand that we're not a part of Judaism, but that word Judaism is basically, you know what I'm saying, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, or the way of the children of Israel that God prescribed to us. All right. Came to a head on Mount Carmel when the prophet Elijah met the priests of Baal and slew 450 of them. First Kings 16 and 32, and First Kings 18, 17 through 40. You understand? And Salaki, the book of First Kings, the 16th chapter and the 18th chapter is it tells a story of how Elijah avenged the prophets of the Lord because they were being slaughtered, you understand, unjustly, because this wicked nigga King Ahab wanted to marry this goddamn heathen broad, you understand, and she disrespected the God of the children of Israel. Also, she disrespected the children of Israel as a whole. You understand? Yahweh Shemal Latanba Shem Yahweh Shah, sis, the water for tapping in. We appreciate it. All right. The cult quickly recuperated, however, and prospered until crushed by Jehu. Jezebel's daughter, Athaliah, the wife of Jehoram, gave the worship of Baal a new a new impulse. When she was overthrown, the temple of Baal at Jerusalem was destroyed, and the chief priests killed before the altar. Before long, however, there was another revival of the worship of Baal. Josiah again destroyed the temple of Baal at Jerusalem and caused the public worship of the god to cease for a time. Prophets of Israel, especially Jeremiah, often denounced Baal worship. In the worship of Baal, incense and burnt sacrifices were offered to him, and an extraordinary and on extraordinary occasions, the victims were children offered by their parents. You understand? Now, this is the same thing as worshiping Molech. When you worship Molech, you sacrifice your damn children, you got high, you understand, and you indulged in lewd sexual activity. You understand? I'm gonna read that again. Salakia. And on extraordinary occasions, the victims were children offered by their parents. This is like this is parents offering their own goddamn children. You understand? Salakia, reading on. Lascivious rites accompanied the worship. You understand? Salakia, I had that. Look that word up for me, folks. I had that word. I forgot the definition real fast. Lascivious, filling or revealing an overt and often sexual desire. It's the same thing. It's orgies. Once again, you understand the water. Orgies, sacrificing children, niggas snorting coke, niggas popping pills, niggas smoking weed. This is what, like, big shout out to Officer of 1,000 Not Desire, right? Because he got a song, right, where he says, niggas sin unaware. You understand? You don't even understand by you indulging and getting high. You understand? You murdering your child in a goddamn abortion clinic, right? You indulging in having orgies and threesomes and all of this wicked, nasty activities. You ain't doing nothing but serving the gods of the heathens, how we used to do in biblical times when the Lord started to destroy the children of Israel. You understand? It's the same thing over and over and over again. All right. So, sometimes priests dancing around the altar in a state of frenzy. In a state of frenzy, these priests was high out their goddamn mind, dancing around the altar. These niggas high, drunk. You know what I'm saying? Doing all type of wicked, evil stuff. They dancing around the they dancing around the altar in a state of frenzy, slash themselves with knives. You understand? You can read about this in 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, the 26th verse. Matter of fact, Salaki, I'm gonna get that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna jump back, right? Lascivious rites accompanied the worship. Now let's go to 1 Kings, the 14th chapter and the 23rd verse. This is in the Bible that we read about. Remember, lascivious means to do a wicked, lewd sexual activity. All right, they was doing this in the Bible. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 14 and verse 23. For they also built them high places and images and groves on every high hill and under every green tree. You understand? And this is what the hell they was doing in there. They was getting high in there. They was sacrificing children, bro, and they was having orgies. You understand? They was having massive orgies. Salakia. Jump down to verse 24. And there were also sodomites in the land, and they did according to all the abomination of the nations which the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. You understand? There was sodomites too. It was homosexual activities going on in these high places where they was worshiping these strange gods. All right. So like it. Sometimes priests dancing around the altar in a state of frenzy slashed themselves with knives. Right. Now let's go to First Kings, the 18th chapter and the 26th verse. These niggas dance around the altar, you understand, and start cutting their own goddamn selves because they high out of their goddamn mind. You know what this sound like to me? It sound like PCP to me. Like on some real shit, bro. Like it's a brother from California, right? Well, he's originally from Texas. You understand? But he was a rapper. You understand? His name was Big Lurch. You know what this nigga did? That nigga got high off of PCP, bro. And he woke up in a damn jail cell, butt naked, right? When he asked what he's in jail for, you know what he did? This nigga got so high off of PCP, he killed his girlfriend and started eating her. This is a black man. Big Lurch was a rapper. Matter of fact, remember that Mac Dre song, Fire? That's him. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, I can't make this up. That's him. You feel me? And then what that song about? That song about getting high, bro. This is crazy. You feel me? Right? It's crazy as hell, man. Salakia. First Kings, the 18th chapter, and where was I at? Salakia. First Kings 18 and 26. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. There ain't no voice, nobody to answer, because this is not a goddamn living God. Y'all niggas is crazy high out your damn mind, you understand, and trying to worship a heathen's God that's not alive. You understand? I'm going to jump down to verse 28. And they cried, Salakia, I got to read 27. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened. Elijah talking shit. He like, bro, talk louder. Man, I don't think he heard y'all. It's the same thing, like Elijah antagonizing these niggas, because you in this chapter, right? This is where they had the contest. Elijah was like, look, let's make a sacrifice to our God. I'm gonna call on Yahweh. Y'all call on Baal or whatever the hell y'all worship, and whoever God rained down fire from heaven to burn this sacrifice, that's who we gonna worship. You understand? So Elijah, he like, man, look, go ahead. Y'all call on y'all God. They calling on him, right? They doing all of this nonsense, right? Elijah like, I gotta read it again. It's a lot here. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. He like, man, speak up. He a God. He can hear y'all, right? Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened. Elijah is talking shit to these niggas. You understand? Like he mocking them. You understand? Y'all Shamal Lataba Shimi Awashai Sharday sister, water for tapping in. I appreciate you. You understand? So Elijah, he mocking them, making fun, like, man, y'all gotta call him louder. He probably sleep. You understand? The nigga might be chasing after somebody. He probably need to be waking up. You understand? He mocking them because Elijah understand, like, bro, y'all calling on this God that is not a goddamn God. You niggas is retarded, bro. Right? Verse 28. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets till the blood gushed out upon them. Man, boy, these goddamn Africans is crazy. And Africans do that shit to this day. The Lord said we should not make cuttings in our flesh for the dead. This is a goddamn dead God that they cutting their flesh for. You feel me? This is where tattoos and shit come from. You understand? This is the worship of nothing. Yeah, like it don't even mean shit. You understand? Our God don't want you to just be sitting up there getting high and cutting your own goddamn self. That's stupid. You like our God loves us. He don't want you to destroy yourself. You understand? So like it. Let's get some more, man. At the first name, Baal was used by the Jews for their God without discrimination. But at the struggle between the two religions developed, the name Baal was given up in Jerusalem as a thing of shame, and even names like Jerubbaal were changed to Jerub-Basheth. Salakia, reading on. Okay, that was it on that. Let's find Ashtaroth. Salakia, let's go back to Judges 2 and 13 once again. The book of Judges, chapter 2 and verse 13. Uragabar, my nigga, y'all by Shimmy out Shabarakatah. The water for tapping in, Brody. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 13. And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. Now let's find what this Ashtaroth God is. All right. Here we go. Ashtaroth or Ashtaroth, an ancient city. So like here, hold on. Is this one I wanted? Nope, I'm gonna jump down. Ashtaroth. Ashtaroth is a plural of Ashtoreth, name of any of the fertility goddess of ancient Near East, Babylonian, Ishtar, Greek, Astarte, in Canaan, a consort of El Baal. You understand? The plural Ashtaroth refers to the many local goddesses. All right. Now, and when you look up the right, sir, they call them tribal scars. You understand? You absolutely correct. When them damn Africans be cutting their own goddamn body up, you understand? For no reason at goddamn all except for they weird as hell, you understand? But yeah, they call them tribal scars, all right? Now, Ashtaroth is a Salakia. This is a Babylonian fertility god, you understand? Ishtar, all right? Now, when you look into Ishtar and you understand who she was, Ishtar was actually the mother of Nimrod. Nimrod was the king of Babylon. Nimrod was the first basically king of the damn world at that time. He was a so-called Ethiopian or Somalian or whatever the hell you want to call them, but those a lot of those people that come from East Africa, you understand? Ishtar was his mother, you understand? And they worshipped her as a fertility goddess, and this is where the name Easter comes from. You understand? It's the same thing as worshiping Ishtar. You understand? Yeah, right. Kind, sir. Short for Easter. You understand? It's the same thing. And what is Easter about? It's about a goddamn rabbit laying eggs. Well, rabbits don't fucking lay eggs. Excuse my French. You understand? But the Easter is about worshiping the fertility goddess Ishtar. You understand? Which is Nimrod's mother, because these filthy Hamites, you understand, which him and his mother was Hamites. She had sex with her own goddamn son. You understand? And after he died, she made people worship his birthday on December the 25th. Salakia, let me get that in the Bible. Let's go to Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. Right. Exactly. That's where they get Easter from. Ishtar. You understand? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because Salakia, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You understand? These was stargazers and astrologers and all of this type of BS and nonsense. Yeah, you smoke a blunt or snort some cocaine, you're gonna start looking up at the stars like, damn, that's crazy. Maybe that's God right there. These niggas was high out their goddamn mind. You understand? Not only was they high out their mind, they was actually having sex with their own mothers because Nimrod actually impregnated his own goddamn mother before he died. And when he died, the child that she brought forth, she basically said that she got pregnant from the gods. This is where that virgin birth or the immaculate conception story comes from. You understand? Which is worshiping a fertility god. You understand? A god that can make you pregnant out of no goddamn where. You feel me? And uh uh this is why Christians worship so many goddamn different gods that they don't even know what the hell they worshiping. You feel me? Because the New Testament never said that Christ didn't have a father. You understand? But that's a whole nother breakdown anyway. But Ishtar, you understand? Nimrod's mother, Nimrod's mother, right? Right. Christmas and Crapmas. Oh, Salaga, sir, we gonna get to that. We'll get to that. You know what I'm saying? Right? But uh Ishtar being pregnant by her son, you understand? After he died, she told her people and the kingdom that she reigned over that she got pregnant by the gods. This is that fertility god. They was worshiping her as a fertility god. And this is where you get the story of the virgin birth, the Virgin Mary, all of this type of nonsense, which is not in the scriptures. And on top of that, I was going to say something else. Yeah, we're going to get into Nimrod and his birthday. You understand? Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. You know what the word vain means? Huh? Means it don't mean shit. It's worthless. It has no meaning to it. The customs of these heathens are vain. You understand? Right? A sub name for getting high is Lucky Charms. Yeah, these niggas high up they goddamn mind. Salakia. Right? For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen, and with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fashion it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. You understand? And this is talking about Christmas. But before it was called Christmas, you understand? This was Nimrod's birthday that was celebrated around December 25th every goddamn year. You understand? And what Ishtar, his mother, would do, right? She would have you bring sacrifices to Nimrod. You understand? Because they worship Nimrod as a god. That's why they used to cut down an evergreen tree and put it in their houses and deck it with gold and silver. And that gold and silver was offerings to Nimrod, and it was to be collected from Ishtar. You understand? She was going to come to your house, collect it, of course, not her by herself, you understand, but her and the men up under her that worshiped her son, you understand? And what they would do is they would come to your house and see all of the silver and gold, you understand, that you decorated with the tree because it was a sacrifice or offering unto Nimrod, you understand? And if they came and seen you ain't had nothing on that tree to sacrifice to him, she was going to cut your head off and put your head on the top of that damn tree. That's where the star comes from on the Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. Verse, I'm gonna drop that because we don't even need to get into that. But yeah, that's Christmas in the Bible, you understand, which is the worship of another God altogether, you understand? And it's about murder again, you understand? Salakia. Where was I at? Yeah, the plural Ashtaroth refers to the many local goddesses. All right. Drop that. Let's go to 1 Kings 11:1. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. The water for everybody tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I want to 1 Kings 11:1. The 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. Where we at? But King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites. You understand? These Moabites, that's your Asian people, your Chinese people, all right? Ammonites, Japanese, Edomites. Of course, we all know that's the devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called Caucasians. You understand? Zidonians and Hittites. The Zidonians and the Hittites is two different tribes of Canaanites, all right? Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Then you can read about this in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter and the 3rd verse, the 3rd and 4th verse. Salakia. Solomon clave unto these in love. So Solomon, he started having sex with all of these strange broads. You understand? He started making these his wives and he started falling in love with them. You understand? And this is what he did. Verse 5. Salakia, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. So Solomon had many wives. You understand? He had a whole lot of women, right? And his wives turned away his heart. Why did they turn away his heart? Because they was heathens. They indulged in stuff that the children of Israel did not do. They was smoking weed, snorting cocaine, having orgies, sacrificing babies. You understand? And the Lord, the spirit of Solomon, the spirit that came on Solomon was the same spirit of Genesis, the 6th chapter, I believe. Okay, let me get that real quick. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and that they took wives of all which they chose. This is the same spirit that Solomon had on him in dealing with these heathens. You understand? He started seeing these white women, these Caucasians, Salakia, these Chinese women, these Japanese women, these African women, and he started to lust after them. Like, damn, I want her. You understand? And what happened was when he started to have sex with him, with them, excuse me, and he got up in age, they changed his heart from being perfect to actually want to indulge in the same lifestyle that his women made, that his women indulged in because he was having sex with them. You understand? Period, point blank, clear as day. When you have sex with a heathen, you're going to follow the ways of that heathen. I say it all the time. You're gonna see a black dude, this nigga get a Chinese baby mama or some type of Asian woman. You're gonna walk in this house, you're gonna see shrines of this broad's family, you understand, with ancient dead relatives and shrines and goddamn candles and hella Asian art in this nigga house. He gonna have a 5-pound bag of rice in the goddamn corner. You understand? They every meal that they cook, you eating seaweed with it, you feel me? Which is not what niggas do, you understand? Because he indulges in her culture. And the reason why I'm giving it to y'all raw and uncut like this, because I've seen this with my own eyes, you understand? And then every time they cook a meal to feed them and their children, who else they bringing a plate to? That goddamn picture of them damn dead relatives with candles around it, like they dead ass really gonna eat it. You understand? Because this is the culture of blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians when we indulge in everybody else's culture. Like you heard the saying, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. Well, that's what niggas like to do all the goddamn time. We want to see these heathen women. We want to sleep with them. So we will perfect precept. Beware of all whoredom. I'm gonna get that in a second, sir. You understand? Perfect precept, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that right now. Salakia. The water for that, sir. Go to the book of Tobit in the Apocrypha. The book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Perfect precept. You understand? Perfect precept, sir. The water for that. You understand? Our fathers from the days of old always took wives of women of their own nation. You know why? Because it will allow us to avoid whoredom. You understand? It will allow us to avoid whoring on our God and indulging in the custom of these goddamn heathens. You understand? Yeah, right, sir. I can't do heathen food either. You understand? Niggas be like, man, East Indian food is good. I'm Tawab. I'm good. That when I was a kid, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. When I was a kid, I used to look at East Indians, and I'm talking about a little kid. I used to be scared of East Indians, right? And not scared like they gonna do something to harm me, but I was scared of them like these niggas is weird. They got some strange shit going on. Why these bitches got dots on their head? Excuse my French, but why they got dots on their head and like you when I was a kid and I used to look at the East Indian men, you know what they reminded me of? They looked at like just all of them just looked at like rapists to me. I don't even know why. You feel me? I used to just be looking at them. They like, oh, this shit crazy. Like them niggas is different. You feel me? And come to find out, the East Indians, a lot of them worship a god called Thuggy or Thug. And them niggas is exactly what the hell was in my mind subconsciously about East Indian people. East Indian people, wicked as hell on the under. You understand? You think they just putting red dots on their head and eating spicy food and chickpeas and all of this weird ass shit. You understand? Hello, I am a black albino. Can I join your gang? Vlad, the kebabber. Whoa, that name sound Paul Salakia. Vlad, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you alone. I'm gonna stay on the topic at hand. Salakia. All right. Let's look up the god Milcom. All right. You almost got me, Vlad. I'm gonna focus on the task at hand. Salaki. I'm gonna leave your comment up there. You weird as hell. Yeah. Salaki, bear with me. Oh, Milcom see Molech. Milcom is the same god as Molech. You understand? Salakia. Dagon. Let's look for Dagon. Matter of fact, let's go to Judges 16 and 23. Another perfect precept, Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 25. Matter of fact, Salakia, sir, quick sidebar. Nehemiah, the 13th chapter, is a cold chapter in the Bible. You understand? You got to understand, Nehemiah was about the Lord's business. You understand? Nehemiah came back from working. I believe this is during the time of the Babylonians as well. He came back from basically being a worker of the king of Babylon, right? And when he came back to Jerusalem, he seen all the evil BS that we was doing in Jerusalem, and like we was doing so much wicked shit. Excuse my French. We let heathens. We let heathens, right? We let heathens come stay in our temple in the treasury room. That's how wicked the children of Israel was. You understand? And Nehemiah, boy, Nehemiah, he came to set the children of Israel straight, you understand, exactly how a man of God would do. Not with singing and song and dance and pleading with you. No, Nehemiah was kicking ass. Nehemiah was checking niggas. You understand? Nehemiah was on a righteous path. You understand? To get the children of Israel to be on track so the Lord don't destroy us. You understand? But I'm gonna get that in a second, sir. Salakia. Judges 16 and 23. The book of Judges, chapter 16 and verse 23. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their God and to rejoice. For they said, our God have delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. You understand? This is when Samson was defeated by these heathens. You understand? Of course, because he slept with a heathen woman. You understand? And put his trust in her and got weak up under a heathen broad. You understand? And you know, she lined him up to get killed. So what we looking for? Dagon, all right. Dagon, Most High Christ, chief god of the Philistines, originally worshipped by Canaanites before Philistine invasion of Canaan, as indicated by place names such as Beth Dagon in Judah, all right, and in Asher, either a fish god or the god of agriculture from Dag. All right. Now, you ever seen one of those the Christians wear the fish necklace? Mm-hmm. That's Dagon. You didn't know that, huh? That's the god of the Philistines. Matter of fact, where your phone? Let me see it. I'm about to try to pull a picture of it so you can see. But that fish that you see Christians with hanging around their neck right there with the cross, or you see it on bumper stickers, right? That's Dagon. Man, what is that thing called today that they wear? Let me see. Right, this one. You seen this heck of times, huh? It's like I don't know if y'all can see that. Think about the shape of the Pope's hat. Right, right. Absolutely. Right, sir. I think that the Pope's hat right there. You understand? It's called the it's this symbol or Jesus fish is a scientifically used to proclaim an affiliation with or affinity for Christianity. You understand? And originally that is Dagon, the fish god. You understand? Salakia. Okay. I'm gonna read from the top again. Originally, Salakia, Dagon, fish, Dagon, Dagon, you understand? probably fish, chief god of the Philistines, originally worshipped by Canaanites before Philistine invasion of Canaan, as uh, indicated by places named such as Beth Dagon in Judah and in Asher, either a fish god or the god of agriculture from Dag, fish, or Dagon, grain. On a wall of a palace in Babylon, he is shown as half fish, that he was god of agriculture and supporting Salaki that he was god of agriculture is supported by the tribute which priests and diviners bade the rulers to send when the ark was returned to Israel: 5 golden mice and 5 golden emeralds were votive offerings expressing gratitude for Dagon's freeing their fields of mice and their bodies of tumors. Saul's head placed in a temple of Dagon. Samson destroyed the temple of Dagon in Gaza. You understand? So Dagon, hold on, what? You said they called the Pope's hat a mitre? I did not know that, sir. I didn't know that. This is a mitre, Salaki. You understand? But anyway, Dagon is a fish god. You understand? Or a god of agriculture. You understand? And they prayed to Dagon, right, to bring forth to bring forth crops, so forth and so on. You understand? And Salakia, I'm gonna read a little bit more of that. 5 golden mice and 5 golden emeralds were voting offerings, were votive offerings expressing gratitude for Dagon's freeing their fields of mice and their bodies of tumors. Right now, this Dagon god, of course, if you read about the plagues that the Lord put on the Egyptians, the Lord put these certain plagues on the Egyptians because these Egyptians worship these many gods. You understand? They worship the god of the agricultural god Dagon. You understand? So what the Lord did was He sent locusts to eat up all of their goddamn crops. You understand? They and so forth and so on. But the Lord put these plagues on these Egyptians to mock their gods. You understand? Salakia, let's look up graven image. Graven image. Graven image. An image of wood, stone, or metal shaped with a sharp cutting instrument as distinguished as distinguished from one cast in a mold. Images were, however, sometimes cast and then finished by the graver. Such images were used by Canaanites, by the Babylonians, and by others. The Israelites were forbidden by the Decalogue to make them. Understand, the Decalogue is just another word for the 10 Commandments, you understand? But the Lord forbid us to make graven images, as I just read not too long ago in Exodus, the 20th chapter and the 5th verse, you understand? A graven image is something that you create with your hands, you understand? The image of something that you bow down and worship, you understand? And once again, you know what I'm saying? It is very important to actually come and get into class, because you will indulge in so many type of activities in your life. But since the Christian church is not about educating the children of Israel, you won't necessarily understand that you're sinning, nor will you understand that you're worshiping a false God, you understand, which the Lord is totally against, you understand. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Matter of fact, Salaki, I'm gonna do a quick roll call. The water for everybody tuning in. Officer of 5,000, Shabal, the water, sir. Officer of 1,000, Gabarda, The why, sir. I appreciate you for tapping in. Understand? Let me see. Salakia. Understand? Sister Sade, the water for tapping in, sis. My brother, Officer 500 Uraga board, the water for tapping in. I appreciate you. Understand? Matter of fact, yep. I'm gonna go ahead and get that. I'm gonna end it with this last precept, the water, sir. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64, talking about us worshiping gods that neither us nor our fathers have known. You understand? Even wood and stone. All right. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That's a perfect precept to end this class off. You understand? That's so in a nutshell, that's what it means to worship other gods. You understand? You worship other gods by getting high, you understand, sacrificing children, and indulge in elusive, lewd sexual activities. You understand? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barak and thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Allah Thun by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters, man. Go ahead and like, share this class. You understand? And show a Christian in your family what it means to worship another God by showing them this class. Shalom, Israel.